As he prepares for a potential rematch with Donald Trump in November, President Joe Biden announced on Tuesday that he will run for a second term in office. "We must decide whether to have more freedom or less freedom in the coming years. More rights or fewer," he said in the video titled Freedom, which was uploaded to his social media account early on Tuesday morning. The emphasis of the video announcement is on Biden's final pitch to the nation, in which he argues for 4 more years in office to finish this job, a phrase he hinted at in this year's State of the Union address. Images from the January 6 attack on the Capitol and Republicans, including Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, former President Donald Trump, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, flash on the screen while Biden avoids specifically naming any of his GOP rivals. The Vice President Kamala Harris is also prominently portrayed in the entire video, once again joining Biden on the ticket. Julie Chavez Rodriguez, a senior advisor to the president at the White House and the granddaughter of labor activist Cesar Chavez, will oversee Biden's 2024 campaign. Principal deputy campaign manager will be Quentin Fulks, who most recently managed Senator Rev. Raphael Warnock's 2022 re-election campaign. The campaign also unveiled its list of national co-chairs, which includes Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Sens. Chris Coons, Tammy Duckworth, Representative Veronica Escobar, and Lisa Blunt Rochester. On Tuesday, it will have been exactly 4 years since he declared his intention to run for president in 2020. He positioned himself as an opponent to then-President Trump in 2019, warning that he could forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation, as Trump went on to attack him as being ill. Now, if Trump wins the Republican presidential nomination, Biden may run against him once more. The former president is still a powerful figure in his party and has already started his own campaign. In an NBC News poll, he was ahead of potential Republican challengers by double digits. With a Democratic majority in Congress during his first 2 years in office, Biden achieved a number of significant legislative victories and secured sizable, occasionally bipartisan investments in a variety of areas, including infrastructure, climate change, healthcare, and COVID-19 relief. But concerns about his age will undoubtedly keep coming up during his re-election campaign. Biden is the oldest president in American history at the age of 80. He would be 86 years of age at the conclusion of a second term. Most Americans and Democrats, according to polls, would prefer that he not run for office again. An ABC News Washington Post poll conducted in February revealed that almost 6 in 10 Democratic-aligned adults said they didn't want to see Biden renominated. And in the NBC News poll conducted this month, 7 in 10 Americans and 51% of Democrats said they did not want him to run for re-election, with half of them citing age as a major reason. In response to these worries, the White House cited Biden's busy schedule and the fact that his physician had cleared him to hold the office of Commander-in-Chief. "It's legitimate for people to raise issues about my age," he said to ABC News anchor David Muir in February. "Doing that is entirely legal. I'm at a loss for words, so all I can say is watch me." Voter apathy may not be an insurmountable obstacle entirely. Even though they were leery of Biden running again, some of the same Democratic-leaning adults surveyed by ABC News earlier this year said that it wouldn't make them support Republicans like Trump. In a similar vein, while almost half of Democrats said they didn't want Biden to run again in a poll this month, 78% of them said they approved of the job he is doing. The poll, which was conducted by the Associated Press and the Nork Center for Public Affairs Research, found that 81% of respondents said they would at least probably vote for him in a general election. The more demanding requirements of a campaign that does not occur in the midst of a pandemic, as the previous one did, may put Biden's advanced age to the test. Due to the spread of COVID-19 in 2020, Biden had to severely curtail his travel and conduct the majority of his campaigning online. The president will probably travel more this time than he did the last, even as 2 unlikely primary rivals, Marianne Williamson and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., declared they would be running for the Democratic nomination. Biden has been making it increasingly clear in recent months that he intended to run while delaying making an official announcement. But the party's unprecedented victory in the midterm elections last year helped to silence discussion in Washington about the president's potential second term. Since delivering his State of the Union address in February, he has frequently told crowds that he wants to finish the job on a number of different issues, including healthcare, abortion rights, gun control, and a host of others. Since then, he has traveled the nation bragging about his successes, including his victories in the legislature. Prior to Tuesday's announcement, he also made the case that under his administration, domestic manufacturing experienced a renaissance, resulting in the creation of hundreds of thousands of jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars in private investment. Biden has facilitated the passage of significant spending bills for infrastructure and pandemic relief, as well as laws that support domestic semiconductor chip and clean energy technology production, raise taxes on corporations, and implement the most significant gun reform policies in decades. But all of those victories happened when Democrats had total control of Congress. Republicans have controlled the House since January and are determined to obstruct Biden's agenda while, in their view, acting as a check on the administration by, among other things, looking into his behavior. Conservatives have posed a potentially disastrous problem by refusing to raise the nation's debt ceiling, while urging Biden to agree to reduce federal spending. Unless the president agrees to negotiate, which he won't do as long as the discussions are linked to the debt limit that poses the threat of an unprecedented national default, the resolution of that conflict may influence the storyline going into 2024.